Jason, it's been an eventful 2019 for the under-15s. A lot of games, a lot of quality opposition. Talk us through your assessment of 2019 as the head coach of the under-15s.
In the international setup for U15s, obviously where we play the competitions and the games we play, it goes over sort of the winter months. So it'd be in 2019 we would have a lot of games for the 2004 age group before they graduate to Paul, and then the end of the year, then after June, July, the 2005 group comes in. So with the 2004 group, we started off with a fantastic tournament in Pinatar. Opposition were really top class. We had with Spain in our first game, we'd Holland in our second game, and then we'd Hungary in our third game, and that was the start of it. Fantastic performance against Spain. We were 1-0 up at half time and they got one in the second half to make it a draw. But our performance more than the result is what we really count, and the players really lifted themselves based on that performance.
And you go and follow that up again and playing the Netherlands as well, which everybody knows just how good the under-age setup with the Netherlands is.
Yeah, well what's interesting is a lot of our players hadn't done much leading into the tournament because it's the off-season for a lot of them. So how we competed 2 games of that calibre in 2 days, just 1 day off obviously, it even blew me away, to be honest. The kids' resilience was really good, really, really good. We went behind, we got back into the game 2-2, and in the last 5 minutes they were wasting time and we were trying to get the ball to keep going to get the winner. So our DNA is fantastic when we play these opposition. The opposition always look at us and say, listen, I wish our players had the same fire as the Irish players. But now we're competing on the pitch as well with the style of play. And we got a 2-2 draw against Holland that day as well. But yeah, it was really good, really good.
And part of the development is preparing the players for tournament football, being aware that every result matters, there's going to be different styles. And you went into the 3rd game in that tournament, briefing the players as if they were qualifying for a tournament.
Yeah, it was a different challenge. So, because we drew against Spain, who played a really expansive 1-4-3-3, then we played Holland, who played a really direct 1-4-2-3-1, and then we had Hungary to play, and they played a 1-4-4-2 diamond. So there was a lot of work getting done after the games with the players, just to educate them on different systems and principles. And with that in mind, of the tournament football, we needed a 3-0 win to guarantee that we would qualify to a next event or elite phase or the knockout stages of a tournament. So it was 0-0 at half time, and we went out. We just said to the players, listen, one goal won't do. You need to really go out here and squeeze them. And we went out and we got 3 and we scored in injury time, and it's probably one of the most one of my best memories from the year would be the way how the players reacted and responded and came up trumps.
Talk about the positivity. There was a couple of games, wasn't there, about Cyprus. What did you take from that double header against Cyprus from those 2 games?
Do you know what it was? With Cyprus, my first time going there, 2 different time zones. Players were very lethargic when we arrived. So I would have taken more about the planning of our event going there. A long flight, it was a 6-hour flight over. Then we had to travel across one side of the island to another because of the time of year in March. Flights were available. So there was a lot about the planning, about preparation I would have taken more when we played Cyprus, because we were very lethargic in Cyprus, especially in the first half of game 1. Yes, the second half we responded a little bit better and created loads of chances, but we seemed to tire a lot quicker in between games over there.
And then you bounce back with a win against the Czech Republic, and everybody knows how strong and the pedigree they have in European football.
I have to say the win against Czech Republic, the first game was probably our best performance of the year because they were a very good side. We bet them in the first game, I think it finished 1-0. But the second game, now we had a bit of illness and sickness in camp, and they bet us quite comprehensively in the second game. But 0-0 at half time, we made some changes in the first game, and we sort of played like a lopsided winger inside with little Jamie Mullins, and we had Evan and Michael Eddy up top. And we sort of pinned them back a little bit. We got the goal from it. It was how the players took on the information at half time, how we implemented it then, and to get the result, which was the most positive thing I've taken from the Czech Republic games.
Moving on to this season with the 2005 born players, we were hosting the UEFA Development Tournament in Mayo, so it was on home turf. Extra added pressure to the players, particularly with 3 of the lads as well from Mayo. it was some 3 games that we had. Took us through. What was that like?
Yeah, UEFA came in this year and gave an opportunity to host a development tournament at under 15s level, which is the first year. We took it, made our season start in September rather than October, which is great. The opposition they gave us was Luxembourg, Faroe Islands, and it was Latvia. Latvia brought a lot of 04s over, so they were a mixed age group. Preparation went really well, so we've done a couple of player identification camps to get down to a squad of 20. And our first game then was against Latvia in Mayo, which we got a 3-1 win out of. We weren't happy as a whole group of a first half performance, I have to say. But in the second half, when we sort of got over the nerves, they were very nervous, making a debut, national anthems for the first time. Can't lose sight, they're only 14. Some of them was 13, Sam Curtis was still only 13. You have to realise, once the nerves gone away, we settled down really, really well. And as the tournament went on, we got better and better and better.
And that was proven with the 8-0 victory over Luxembourg. I think many people anticipate perhaps the strongest of the 3 sides there. Comprehensive win. But it was the players, was it good then for the players just to taste that success and kind of see the goodwill and support for them on home turf? Do you feel that's acted as a springboard for the remainder of the year?
Yes, I do. I think Mayo pulled out all the stops for us and made sure that the event ran really, really well. Our international operations department through Joanne had everything done for us perfectly. Pat Duffy put on even a civil reception for them with all the politicians up in West. But everything was really good, and the players really felt 10 foot tall. They really did, and they knew it was a professional environment. They responded then on the pitch as we got better. The Luxembourg game, we went in, we looked at them twice. They were a very good team. We had the same goal scored. We conceded one where they hadn't. So it was a winner-take-all, and our players in the first half were absolutely outrageously good. And we were 5-0 up at half-time because we pressed them high, and their decision-making was really good. Can't fault the first half performance at all.
So perhaps then going on, there was such goodwill with the players, and as you said, they were feeling 10 foot tall. 2 games against Poland, difficult opposition, had their own UEFA development tournament around similar time, if I'm right. Played 2 games, both 2-1. Did that please you perhaps even more than some of the fixtures in the development tournament, that they responded so well and they kept that momentum up?
Absolutely, yeah. In the first game against Poland, the first half, we went ahead and we were really good. We moved the ball well, and Galway United's fantastic pitch. Geraldine looked after us really well, the facilities there. We moved the ball really well, the players responded, they knew the game plan, they knew what high performance is, they knew how to recover better, they knew how to eat better, all based on the education for the development tournament. And they seen out the first game really well. I was disappointed we didn't win the game by more, the first one. I was disappointed we didn't win the game by more, which is a testament to the standards we've set ourselves with this age group.
So in the second game against Poland, it's the first time in the season that the players have gone a goal behind. Was you pleased with the way they responded?
Oh, absolutely. It was an interesting one because we weren't sure what way they would react at half time. But we went in at half time, and as we normally do, we asked a question. And the first thing they said was, we're not going after them enough. We don't want to defend in this mid-block. Can we not go after them like we did against Luxembourg? We feel comfortable. So the players chose then their game plan. We went out and we scored 2 in the second half to get the win, and possibly could have got a couple more. So that was fantastic for the players to be able to take the lead on that, and for the staff to be able to work with them to make sure in cooperation we get the things done right.
How important is it to give the players that responsibility? Because I think often overlooked in the development. There's a lot of image of players going out, listening to the coaches, and then you've just got to do it regardless. But to have the players actually advise and say, this is how we feel, and feed it back to coaches, is that probably as more important than any of the coaching that you could be putting to their way?
Yeah, absolutely. We coach principles through our age groups, and our coaching style would be very, very cooperative with the players. Let them find solutions themselves, but we would educate them in terms of what is best at that time. These players, I think I said before, with the 2005 group, they're probably one of the most maturest group we've had, such a young age, and they take responsibility with that. in terms of the preparation and the planning, the training environment they set themselves. I think the way to coach players is make sure they understand and make the right decisions themselves on the pitch. It's not about us. We've 4 operation principles we follow, and that's to instill a high performance culture. It's team building togetherness, it's resilience, which they show at a half time, and it's obviously a player centred approach, and that's what we try to underpin the whole under 15 season with.
So the players respond well after being a goal behind against Poland. They get 2 goals in the second half. You then go on and play England. Doesn't need much of a build-up. Ireland v England. You're playing at the headquarters of England at St George's Park. What was that like, firstly, for yourself and the staff to preparing a team against England, but also for the players going on and facing what is a mouth-watering game against such a side?
Absolutely. England got in touch and asked us would we be interested in playing a one-off game in December. They had a spot available. The FAI agreed with it. We went over. England looked after us tremendously. The FA looked after us tremendously. The players really looked forward to it. And the key about us being able to take the game at such late notice was that we've had so much contact time with the players. So where our high performance directors has invested a lot of money with our 15s, so gave us more contact time. So we were prepared with just 1 or 2 training sessions leading in. And that was great for us because the players knew their roles and responsibilities before we got there. Having said that, it's England. It's St George's Park. When we arrived, the players were very, very nervous at the start. It's a fantastic facility. They played on the first team training pitch, which is the best pitch I've ever seen. But they responded, and they responded really well, and I couldn't have asked for more in the first half performance. 2-0 at half time. We created 12 opportunities. We stopped them from creating any. Overall, over the whole year, it was probably the best football I've seen from an Ireland team, personally, in terms of keeping possession. I think we had two thirds of possession of the ball over the whole first half, and I thought it was tremendous. Credit to the players.
And you said there that that's 2019, and that's a big highlight. How, looking forward to 2020, can we see more of the same? And is there anything that you're kind of keeping an eye on and saying, this is where we're going to go, this is where we're going to work towards?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because at the start of the year, when we played with the 04 group, there were certain games we were playing, we were setting up sort of not to lose the game. With this group, the players we have, you need to have set up to win the game. And we've done that against England, we've done it in the development tournament, and we've done it against Poland, and they've scored 22 goals. They've only conceded 4. So we're playing Australia under 16s in the 18th of January here in preparation for a tournament in Spain, where we're going to play Spain, Holland and Czech Republic. And we're going to carry out the same. The principles are working. It's exciting football. The players love it. Irish players getting the ball down and playing dominating possession against teams of the calibre of England is where we all need to be getting to.
Is that the new identity, would you say? Or is that an identity which has perhaps been there for a long time and is perhaps flourishing at this moment in time? Because there's a lot of buzz around Irish underage football at the moment. Do you feel
well, I think it's the international managers. We meet once a year, and I've been obviously on record saying that it's all under the stewardship from Real Doctor. But we sit down, we all work together, we all work closely with our clubs to make sure that the players are in a high performance environment here. And with that in mind, the standard of football is raised with our National League. It has raised. So that means when the players come into us, the gap now between us and the bigger nations is smaller now, and we can compete better by playing the brand of football that we're doing.